So here we are, finally, with a siege for the Anduin Vale to be showed off in, and it's been a hot minute since we have kind of covered the new update for Dawnless Days, but here we are with a very, very exciting 2v2 here on what looks like a very deserty and dusty Edoras, to be honest. I think they've changed, I feel like they changed this, and it did not remember it looking this dusty and dirty. But yeah, it looks like we're in the middle of a desert somewhere. But we do have a very, very cool 2v2 here. And we've got two factions that have got a lot of work done to them being shown off. We have, obviously, Anduin Vale, the new faction here, which is being showcased as we have Vale Axemen charging through the gate here at the Nairth infantry of Lothlorien. As they go in, obviously Lothlorien's probably going to hold this line for a little while. Their elves are probably significantly better than these Anduin Vale units here. And the other attacking faction here is the Easterlings here. And the Easterlings have got quite a bit of work done to them on certainly a few units here. That's for sure. We've got, I think they've got new generals, obviously. They've got new swords as well. I'm actually generally just trying to find some sword units at the moment. We've got the Balkoth Nobles over here, which are a new unit. And apparently the camera does not like going there, so that's interesting to learn. But there you go, we've got the Balkoth Nobles here. Yeah, for some reason it does not like zooming in this area. Maybe it's for the ladders, I don't know. But those are the Balkoth Nobles. They look really, really cool. That's the new sword unit. I think you can bring a couple of units of those. And I think that is the only sort of new unit they've got, given, to be honest. I don't think they've had anything else changed. They might have had some stats change as well to pad them out. I do not know. We'll have to see how the Eastlings do in this siege. Kahar is, at least he's got a new look, I believe. Yeah, he's now purple, so I guess that's another big change. He's not in black anymore. I think there's a different general that's in a black sort of look. Might be the old Kahar look. I think he's called something similar as well, like Kavar or something. But he looks really cool. I like his breastplate as well. I just realized like the dragons on there looks really cool. But yeah, and then on the defense here today, we do have Rohan and the Anduin Vale. Rohan and Lothlorien. As you can see, Rohan here with his Erling Knights charging in, doing as much damage to these Valemen as they come over the walls here. Unprotected, we've got so many axe units here that are just not going to be able to counter the cavalry. See, the cavalry's just bouncing in and out. It's just hitting as many units here as possible. Really good plays here from this Rohan player. That's just got exactly what you've got to do. The unit sent over the wall just like that. Yeah, just batter it down with cavalry. Really nice there. You can see the Vale archers here, the Vale yeomen, trying to do as much damage as possible. Each charge is taking casualties from the Erling Knights here, as Rohan defends its capital, which is all of a sudden very dusty. There you go. There's a rider, another rider dropping. But even still, they're doing relatively significant damage here to these units. The Vale Axemen are getting focused down now as well by Galadriel Bow Warriors, just to make it even worse for them. And it looks like actually we've had a few charges over here. Erling Knights again charging these guys, doing more damage as well. And to be honest, I just engage the Nairth infantry here against the Vale Axemen. And I think we're about to see another charge here from more Erling Knights. It's an easy thing. No sort of counter to that at all from Anduin Vale. I'm trying to remember their roster. They do have spears, I was going to say, available. Anduin Sentinels, actually a pretty solid spear unit. To be honest, they actually look really well armored and like very like sort of not elite trained is the word I go with. A lot of units, I'd say, for the Anduin Vale look like they are very ragtag units, but yeah, they look well trained and disciplined. I'm surprised he's not brought more of them. A lot of shock as well. Being brought here. So we've got the past sentries, we've got a load of these guys with like the Huskarls. We've got the Airthid Footmen, which just remind me of Rohan, to be honest, and they do have sort of a similar relation, both being from the north originally. And what else do we have here? More Axemen. We have the General, which is an Airthid Noble. We've got Pikes, which are going to be an interesting mix there. We've got Carrick Wardens, so they will be interesting to see. And we've got polearms as well for the Eastlings. So yeah, a lot of like long spear units that can be used here. And we're going to see a nice hammer and anvil. Oh my gosh. Erling Knights are hammer and anviling into these Axemen here, while they get pinned by Amor Sentinels and Nairth infantry. They're going to bounce it again, just going after this. Players not learning. Axes and cav do not mix. This cavalry's done really well. Really well. I mean, the Erling Knights are a solid unit. Yeah, they're getting some good kills. That's for sure. And we are now seeing spears being sent in Anduin sentinels there. But yeah, I haven't seen any sort of pikes. I mean, actually, there you go. I was about to say I haven't seen any pikes or polearms for the defenders. There they are, Galadrim spear warriors. They do have some. They will be more than capable, I'm sure, of dealing with both attacking forces, pikes and polearms. I haven't not seen Anduin Vale yet in action in a siege or a battle, so we're going to be learning together. I've been told this is a really close siege, so definitely get yourselves some snacks and some drinks. But that is obviously a good advertisement for the Anduin Vale. That they are a solid faction if it's ended up being quite a close game. There's these things over here I think Carnage sentries. They've javied already, I guess, trying to javy through the Neath infantry. Trying to javy Elven spears head on. They have too much missile block and probably too much armor, to be honest. I would just not worth it. Get side shots if you're going to give it a go. I would send a tower or two in this direction as well. There's not a lot here. I mean, it just would stretch the enemy a little bit more. They might send more troops of their own. I mean, like Rohan here has some axe things ready. And he has another cav unit. They could send more. I was going to say they are sending more cavalry here, Heir of the Eastfold, to come and deal with these Anduin Vale units. Like, he's not learning. He is not learning from his mistakes here. They've got rid of the Erling Knights, fine, but there's more cavalry to come in. This is slightly lesser cav. But it's still going to do a great charge. Look at all the horses just running around inside the city. It's like it's a land battle, really. Rohan, they're treating it like a land battle, using as much cav as possible. We've yet to see a Rohan infantryman actually have to draw any blood. Heir of the Eastfold, though, they are a medium cav rather than a heavy like the Knights.
Enemy forces
but they have cut down that Vale Axeman easy for them. There are other options here. They've got more Axemen here. It looks like they are surrounded. Oh, they've got the shock in here. That's why I was going to say they've got some of their past sentries. I feel like it should be sentries. I don't know. Sentries Pass? I don't know. It's an odd name, I'll give it that. They've got bees on their back, that's cool. Lovers of bees, which I can get behind. But yeah, they've got the shock infantry in anyway, and they will deal with the spears. They are a tier 3 shock as well, so yeah, solid unit. They are only medium. Neath infantry there, are going to lose that fight. And being surrounded as well means there's no hope of escape. Unless the Heir of the Eastfold come over here and bail them out, which are already taking quite a lot of losses, and that is, like I said, down to that lack of armor that is available. And I think we're going to see a charge here again. What's he going for? I mean, you could just go, just go for the Axeman here. Get rid of these guys. There you go, Vale Axeman also dealt with. And yeah, the Anduin sentries, he's not really got them up properly to sort of help protect anything. He needs to get all of them up. And he's got 3 of them, I think. 4 of them. And then none of them are being committed. I'm seeing even more axes looking like they're going to get committed, though. Yep, more axes getting sent over the wall. What is this man doing? And also, to be fair, I've just realized Rohan is not short of cavalry. I don't know what the funds were for this. Rohan has a crap ton of cabs still to use. Erling Riders? That's a new unit as well. We've not seen these guys. Erling Riders, tier 3 spear cavalry. And the King's Company is new as well, of course. Kind of couldn't forget that. Heavy melee cavalry is tier 4. What else we got here? Yeah, more Erling Riders. Westfold, yeah. So, I mean, they've got a lot of cavalry here. Has Rohan still to throw into the mix. Surprised they haven't just sallied out on someone, to be honest. I mean, I wouldn't have maybe sallied out on... I mean, to be fair, actually, both are kind of bringing cav. I don't know if it's enough cav to really stop them. We've got Loki Rim, Store Riders. Yeah, Easterlings have definitely brought enough cav. I feel like they could contend with Rohan, to be honest, quite nicely. And to be fair, the Anduin Vale's brought a fair amount as well. I think both players prepared for a potential sally out, at least. And Rohan evidently was going to try a sally out. It hasn't worked, so they're now just using their cav defensively. That's working just a treat so far. They've used 3 cav units. They've decimated the entire, pretty much, axe line. I mean, even sending in the Greenwood Forest as an axe unit to send in first. These guys have projectiles. That might have kept the cavalry at bay, to be honest. That might have stopped the player from being like, yeah, I'll send my cav in against projectile units. They are only axes, though. And having watched the Erebor axes in action, I wouldn't have said that throwing axes do any real damage. I think they're the Balkoth Nobles, yeah. I'm having to learn so many new names. So many new names. But yeah, Balkoth Nobles going in against Guards Mudaseld. I'm forgetting names, though. There's too many names to try and remember. in Dawnless Days these days.
Men have thrown down their weapons and are fleeing.
I would have probably sent in the shock first. Runic Savages, I mean, they might have already been in, but I don't think they have, looking at the losses, to be honest. I would have sent the the Runic Savages in first, let them weaken up these spears, and then maybe send in the Nobles, to be honest. Again, Rohan over here, he's not really defending massively. We are now about to see Cab being committed, though, more Knights being sent down. I think we're going to see a similar sort of thing happen. If I was these things, you should learn from your ally, and you bring up your spears, you send these guys in first. Clan Guards, there's a reason you bring spears sometimes, certainly against certain factions, and that is, just in case either sally outs are tried, or whether you need to land with spears first, and try and, well, just to scare off cavalry and just prevent it from, being effective. I don't know what this line of Storm Riders is doing, but there you go. They're doing a conga line of the Storm Riders. Very, very interesting technique there. But yeah, really, they should get rid of the Macemen, get them off, get these guys off the towers, and then start getting spears on that and start moving soon. Because as you can see, archers coming down, we've got Yeomen of the Market all being mustered, and I think they're going to start shooting at some stuff. I would start shooting at shock infantry, which I imagine is the proposed target. Finally, we're seeing some engagement here from infantry. We're finally seeing Anduin Vale. Well, I guess they've already engaged at the gate. But somewhere else they're engaging against native infantry right here. And we've got relatively fresh past sentries coming up. I think that's the one that's already engaged at the gate. They look like they will be going in very, very shortly. Trying to again break through this spear line here. I mean, looking at Lothlorien's army, it's not huge. I mean, it's stretched a little bit as well because it's having to deal with these things. And there's any more troops over there. To be honest, I'd leave Rohan to defend that gate as well. It's kind of like their sector. I mean, it's... well, I feel like Anduin Vale could take up a lot of Lothlorien's time, but we'll see. We will see. Pikes and shock are going to be a real problem here. And there's a lot of that tier 3 shock. We've got Silver Chevron Amaroth Sentinels here. Jeez, just the one. Just the one. Yeah, look at that. Shock infantry are losing here against Lothlorien. Maybe actually Lothlorien can send troops elsewhere. I don't know how strong Anduin Vale is. In my opinion, I think it's going to be one of the weakest factions. I don't see it being particularly strong. Certainly in the campaign as well, it's going to have a really hard start. I can see it being like very hard, very hard. It's going to be certainly one for the experienced Total War player to try and campaign. Just because they're kind of, I mean, they've got a bit of protection, I guess, so they can befriend the elves, but they've got goblins and Isengard pretty close to them. Yeah, that shock infantry died pretty quickly. I mean, they've done some damage to the Amaroth Sentinels. I wouldn't say enough at all. Not enough at all. Over on this again, over here, look at this. Easterlings, Runic Savages, in fairness, struggling there. Balkoth Nobles, they're about to land, and they are going to just get in. There's nothing stopping them. They should be able to encircle that gate, and then they should be able to make a little bit of progress over here. And this, I feel like, could actually be a good area to sort of progress. If I was Rohan, I would probably be bringing my archers up to here where the cav is, and I'd be shooting into this choke point. He is using his archers a little bit over here, or at least it looked like he was. He's setting them up. Hasn't exactly used them, though. And here we go, the Macemen going in. Low-Cura Macemen, like I said, in previous versions, they used to be really, really good. There's been a couple of versions since then, though. They should beat Rohan Infantry. Rohan Infantry is not the strongest in the world. They're the retainers. I mean, they're tier 3 heavy melee against tier 3 very heavy axemen. Yeah, they'll still lose, in my opinion. These are tier 3, I feel like, is an honorary thing. It's a bit like thorax swords are a very heavy infantry in Rome too. It's technically the case. In theory. In practice, I would say otherwise. Yeah, I really hope Loki and Maceman get made great again. This is good tactics here, though, by the Easterlings. Landing the far tower, clan guards. That now blocks off any sort of Rohan push there. I just keep pushing that clan guard now forward all the way to sort that pass. Same thing happening over here. As you can see, left-hand side here. Clan guards have been sent in. They've actually managed to pin down this early knight here. And that is now going to be replaced by early retainers going in. Knights will be able to get out. They might be able to get a hammer and anvil, but they're already significantly damaged. And the clan guard, I mean, the clan guards might not win. I was going to say clan guards are not winning that. I think they've been charged already by the cab, which is why they're so significantly weakened. And so both sides here have taken some significant casualties. Cav here just going to go through the back of its own lines. That's absolutely fine. And it's going to just go for rear charges here on the Macemen, who are actually losing this fight. Like I said, Dev team, make Loki and Macemen great again. Make them great again. And they go into the back of those Macemen. That's a win there for them. The retainers are now going to seal their fate, though they might engage the Balkoth nobles up here, which again also are tier 3. I feel like I would make them tier 4 since they're cabs, I think. They're like 2 or 3. Back over on this side here, Anduin Vale is engaged, but he's not really making much in the way of progress right now. Vale Axeman still chuntering away, trying to break through. I don't know what the numbers are, actually. Bounce power, it's 8,800 against 5,400. It's a big difference, to be fair. And for no Orc faction, that's a lot of troops that will kill off. A bit of lag going in there. Anduin Vale do have quite large units. Like, a lot of the units seem like they're 170-man units. Or 140. Well, 140 is not like big. That's pretty average. Yeah, that is.
Enemy units have
but
been rallied.
Still very like there's some big units. All their tier 2 units are pretty large. I think Cav now inside here, heir to the Lancers. They're going to do some decent damage. I'd imagine if they can get a good charges somewhere, but maybe here could get a side charge into these Amaroth Sentinels. That would be your best target. I think that is what they're going for, and I think the Lothorian player has seen it, so that's why he's falling back now to try and avoid that angle coming in. Yet he's managed it quite nicely there, actually. Pretty well withdrawn there, but he's going to start taking losses and lose decisively to those axes there. But not a bad little play. We are seeing a bit of a landing here from the Eastlings. Spears have been sent in first, and it looks like the Arid of the Eastfold have been repulsed. But we are back. Unfortunately, the replay did crash, but we are back at pretty much where we left off. So as you can see here, the Anduin Vale are still valiantly assaulting up this hill. They've actually finally broken this Amaroth Sentinel here. Some progress has been made by the Anduin Vale, which is good to see, but there is still a lot of elves for them to take on. It's going to be a really tough debut for them in this first siege battle, and yeah, they are slowly but surely. I mean, they're doing damage to these Amaroth Sentinels in fairness. I mean, yeah, like Silver Chevron tier 2, heavy melee infantry. I mean, it's the shock infantry doing all the work, really, doing all the big pushing here. Those big axes scything through those immortal elves, cutting through flesh, bone, and everything such like. It doesn't seem like these things are really making too much in the way of progress, to be honest themselves. The Balkoth nobles here being beaten by these early retainers. We can see Carnage sentries go over. They need to get their javies off if they want to hope to have any success. Their archers also now pelting down these poor halberds that are trying to get through the gate, and they're going to try and break through that way by just defeating the guards from yourself. Not a bad idea, maybe a little early, and also very bold to assume you were going to get these guys in one piece through the gate with all those archers primed and ready to go. And then over on this side here, the Eastlings still battling away with the early retainers. Seems like the retainers again are still beating these guys. Well, I don't know. It seems 50-50. Actually, the Macemen might be winning these fights. I generally have to look at the stats and see which one is better. I think it is the Macemen, just because of their armor, like they're very heavy,
Enemy
while
has obliterated
retainers
an
are
entire
heavy.
unit.
But yeah, it generally seems pretty close. We've got the early retainers over here beating the current sentries because they didn't get their jabbies off. We've got pole arms actually landing as well on the wall over here, which they've actually managed to get in without being focused down. We've got the runic savages here as well, so trying to battle their way through. They are losing. They are very light shock infantry. They're not exactly going to be holding there for long. They're over on this side as well. Easterlings are not having much in the way of progress over here either. The cab is inside. We've got very aggravated riders in here. They're managing to get inside along with the runic savages. Between the two of them, it seems like they are looking like they might defeat these axe stains. Axe stains are pretty sucky, to be honest, when it comes to Rohan infantry. I'm surprised they pulled out the runic savages and actually allowed a charge there from the Erling riders to get into the side of those runic savages. That's doing some good work there. Really, they need to try and get some cycle charges going here, to be honest. And it looks like, yeah, they're trying to send in the shock, maybe to try and even that fight up against the retainers. I don't know. I don't know what their play is there. But I think this is going to fall apart here for these things. This does not look like it's working. And runic savages again being charged by those Erling riders. I'm surprised they haven't just got the spear. They could have snuck the spear around and kind of blocked off that advance and kind of bottlenecked all these infantry in there. That would have been my play to do and just try and keep the cav out of there. But yeah, that didn't work. There you go. Yeah, Carnage Sentry's going to be defeated here. It doesn't seem like Eastlings... Well, actually, they're sending another runic savage over. I mean, they need to send everything over. They're sending all their warlords and Variag warriors back. Just send everything over. You've got to commit. Fully commit to this. Rohan is actually, to be fair, is nearly out of infantry. They are nearly spent on infantry. And then after that, if you break through there, Lothlorians either going to have to send stuff or they're going to have to fall back, one or the other. There is still a lot of cab, though, that obviously could cause a problem here for these things if they don't block off choke points in the right spots. And Halder over here, he's focusing down stuff as well. Past sentries here, losing. Now, but I mean, they might still beat those spears, but they're trying their best, which is a good idea there. I mean, the elves need to do things like this. Elves, do they still have ammo? Yeah, they still have a considerable amount of that ammo as well in their Gladron bow warriors. Amarok Sentinels here. Fighting against the past sentries. Again, it seems like I said, the shock infantry for Anduin Vale really going to be doing the pushing. And I bet this is going to be a common theme, to be honest, throughout like sort of the videos we see with Anduin Vale. And if they're on the attack, it's going to be the shock that's doing the pushing. Honestly, it will be interesting to see how they do on the defense, to be honest. It's going to be, yeah, it'd be hard to say. I mean, a lot of their, obviously, like their axes just seem like they're pretty naff. I mean, they also are fighting a really strong faction, so that's... You got to take that into account. If they're facing more of an evil, like orcish faction, maybe they perform a bit better. They are fighting quite literally the elves of Lothlorien, which are probably one of the stronger factions in the game. Runic Savages sent over the wall, and again, Runic Savages seem like they're going to struggle here and look like they're going to be slaughtered by the Erling retainers. I mean, generally in this siege, and I'm saying it, I feel like Eastlings have made Rohan look good in this siege battle. They really have. I don't know if it's the player or whether it's just the units. I mean, the player a little bit. I mean, you've got to... The archers are not being used. All these archers are back here not being used, which is not good at all. That's really made Rohan's job so much easier. And they'd just be able to freely shoot the shock infantry and the polearms that rush towards the gates. While really the archers over here should really be dealing with these yeomen of the mark. Eastlings have vastly better archers here on show. These are tier 3, all of these archers. And you'd be shooting at tier 2s. Like, you would win that duel Absolutely. So I don't know why he hasn't pushed his archers forward. Rohan would be forced to pull his back, and they'd get so many more troops up onto the wall here with these things, with like less casualties. But no, we've not seen it. Archers are so important for that reason. Either they use up the enemy's ammo, or they, you focus them down. Like if you end up not winning the range fight, that's fine, because usually the enemies use up all its ammo trying to take out your archers, and then your infantry gets in, which is probably going to be better. Supply barrels obviously need to be taken out if you're going to play that strategy. You've got to land some towers on those supply barrels. This one is still operational. I don't know if it actually has ammo left to use though. I'm not so sure. Over on this side, still, yeah, Easterlings are going to lose this fight here. They are throwing in more shock, though. And we're going to see more cav being sent over here, including Kahar with his new look being sent in this way. I mean, that is bold. I mean, the Anduin Vale is breaking through as well, so they are going to get there. I guess the Rohan's just trying to defeat this force here before Anduin Vale arrives. But yeah, shock infantry over here, again, still smashing into all these swords. Pikes are helping, but I don't know if they've been shot at. They've just been losing in the melee. Parrot Wardens coming forward. Very cool, very cool. We now have pole arms holding this front line here, so it doesn't seem like Lothlorian's planning to pull back. I thought maybe those pole arms in that section there, they were going to hold that line maybe. No, that's not the case. They're going to push them forward. It looks like Lothlorien plans to hold kind of where he is. It's not a bad spot, to be honest. I mean, they're going to lose this sort of front over here, are the defenders, at least at the moment, unless more troops get sent there. More cabs being sent there. They're going to send those out. And we are seeing Lothlorien sending shock infantry now to support against Rohan's flank, because these things have actually broken through here. Polearms and shock together have managed to get through those early retainers, which I'm mightily surprised by. And this is a good duo. I mean, we've got a lot of shock here. We've got a mix of heavy and very light, and then we've got the polearms. Honestly, just send the polearms to block off here against Rohan, and then just send in the shock against the Galadrim Sword Warriors, and that should be enough. And then just keep, to be honest, keep funneling in the rest of your troops, including your archers, should be funneling into this space now, and you make a push over here. I mean, again, also support here as well a little bit. I mean, they could be. The archers over here could be shooting these swords just out of range of the Yeoman of the Mark. And then they would be winning this melee down here with these things so much easier. But no.
An entire unit has perished.
Archers still being inactive. Vale Axemen here losing. Emerald Sentinels. I do feel like Emerald Sentinels on a one-on-one, they beat most of these guys. They just need the shock in here. Look like they've got, what, 1, 2, 3 more. They've got a pike as well. We haven't even seen the Aethid Footmen, I don't think, in action yet. They might be able to put up a decent fight. They are tier 3s. Anduin Sentinels haven't really gone in either. There's still plenty of Foresters as well to be sent in. So, yeah. Still quite a few units to be committed. And there you go, the breakthrough's on as well over here. There's a gap opening up as the cav here engages the Storm Riders in the Bane of the Steppes. And Kahar is actually in this fight. I think the Storm Riders should win this. I still do think he should have a unique general, probably. I mean, like, the Storm Riders are, again, mediocre. Eastlings aren't great. They just need buffing. In my opinion, in multiplayer, they just generally do not do great. And look at that, yeah, I mean, he is pulling Kahar out of melee. I think that is kind of part of the problem. He's losing that fight now because the Erling Riders are just, cutting him down as he retreats. I think he's pulling out of the combat to try and rear charge. Yeah, the Erling Riders over here try and turn this combat around. But this might actually end pretty poorly here for the Eastlings. Kahar is, yeah, he's losing. He's kind of stuck between two melees now. And I think we're going to see, yeah, the Cav here, King's coming. I think they're going to try and block their escape. And yeah, that's going to be the Eastling General gone. And that could be game. Eastlings over here then will start to lose morale. They haven't got insanely good morale. I mean, it's pretty average, I think, for mannish factions. Elves and dwarves have by far and away the strongest morale once the general's gone. And over on this side as well, Variag Riders fighting here against Erling Riders. Yep, there goes Kahar. I don't think he's dead yet, but he definitely is going to die getting run down by cavalry there. There's a footman now in the fight. We'll see how these guys do. It's the first showing of them. They seem like they're winning these fights. I mean, they are fighting a very weakened Amarok Sentinel and nothing else. Still got lots of archer ammo here. Anduin Vale have at least been using their bows, which is good to see. Do you think they're going to have to start using their bows against the Gladrim Spear Warriors? That is going to be their next test. But I think they are obviously scared of the Gladrim Bow Warriors here. I think that's what I think they're also saving their ammo to either shoot pikes or to shoot the yeomen here. They're not really too bothered about killing the pass sentries. They seem to be able to be attrition down by the weak, well, like these tier 2 elven swords, slowly but surely.
Enemy units have returned to the battle.
Yeah, the pass sentries here, slowly but surely cutting these guys down.
And are fleeing.
And over here as well, Amarok Sentinel's still holding on here. The pikes here they are still actually doing okay, and they aren't taking casualties. They were at about 86 when we last looked at these guys. I feel like it would be really cool if they had shields in their back, a bit like the past sentries. That would be quite cool. And then have like a pike with a missile block, like a little bit. That would be a kind of a cool bonus there for the Anduin Vale. Don't think they have a missile block. But I think the shock does. It's got a shield in its back. There you go. They are through, but their reward is to be charged by King Theoden with the King's Company, which is also new, I guess. Well, it's not a new unit. We know this is a new unit, but this is new that he has the King's Company as his unit. I'm pretty sure before it was the Household Knights. Now it's King's Company, which makes more sense. It should be. Is he going to charge in? If he is going to, he needs to be careful. There are pikes sniffing about. But maybe he's just trying to slow down the advance just to allow, Amarok Sentinels to set up. I mean, actually over here, look at this. Erling Riders, they haven't defeated Kahar. They're now going to flank around and just, make the Eastlings' lives a little bit worse.
The men have thrown down their weapons and are fleeing.
Eastlings are in. But a great cause. I mean, to be honest, they have not done a lot of damage. They've done a lot of damage to the infantry of Rohan, but a lot of their assets are still alive, like their cav, their archers. And at the moment, Lothlorien has enough infantry to take on both fronts here. Whether that's going to remain the case, I don't know. Still big difference in numbers here. 3,000 or 2,900 against 4,500. So yeah, big difference in numbers there. But doable. I mean, you've got to think most of the units left for the defenders are Cav and Elves. Two very fearsome sort of units. Factions. There's still a lot of archers with ammo as well, which obviously is key. And they're finally taking out the supply barrel. I think all the supply barrels are gone, so there's no chance of resupply for any of the Elves or Rohan. Shield wall holding strong here. Very, very good. It's still 4 units of Admiral Sentinels suspended, which is what I keep looking at, is that pool of troops there. Still got a pole arm as well. And as you can see here, I mean, it looks like they are already taking the gate. They're going to try and, you know, I mean, it's not really going to stop it. The gate's destroyed. The cav can just freely come in and out. So capturing it isn't really the end of the world. I mean, actually, there's a supply roll here. I didn't even realize this one. This one you might want to think about taking out, just to make sure the elves don't come back over here and take it out. Swords are in shield wall here holding, but I mean, you could just use the airted lancers and just cycle charge. You will take losses, but the cab's not going to be too much more useful as this siege goes on and these streets get narrower and narrower. It's going to be hard, even for Rohan with his cavalry, to use them. But yeah, that will be the case. Anduin Sentinels are actually being sent over here to guard the gate, which I think is the plan. But that is a full unit then of spears now being sort of committed to defending that gate. And the same over here as well. There's a pole arm now committed. It's a small unit of pole arms, but yeah, it's 50 pole arms are now defending a gate that otherwise could be, you know, looking forward and fighting the elves there. I would, with whatever shock they have left, just keep cycle charging these Heroes of Ammon Lank. Or, even better, would be to use these archers, which he could set up here, and he could side shot all these Gladron sword warriors that are just waiting there. Yeah, Easterlings not really been too proactive. Airted footmen now losing that fight against Admiral Sentinels. I don't even think they're being shot at. They are now getting shot at. The order has been given by Haldir. But that just makes it worse. So, I mean, that kind of shows the quality of these airted footmen. They're not great. Not bad, but not great, I would say. I mean, they are tier 3 swords. That's kind of how you describe most tier 3 swords, I guess. They're getting slaughtered now, actually. Yeah, getting side shot there by Haldir. He must be getting great kills. Greenwood Forest is in here, so that's some of that tier 2 axe infantry. The pole arms here skewering them, as to be expected, to be honest. Yeah, these pole arms, they're going to need shooting. They're going to need shooting. There's no other way you're going to kill these guys off. Unless maybe the pikes. But the thing is that obviously the pikes are being held in reserve and won't be sent forward because these archers have got ammo. The archers are being held in reserve because they know the pikes are there. So it's kind of a bit of a cold war who commits what first there. If anything, the waiting game is in favor of the Galadrim elves. They can keep killing all these units because they're doing a good job of it right now. I guess they're trusting in the foresters maybe to jabby their way through. 66 out of 100. They're not really killing any of each attack. Well, each, like sort of, yeah, like attack there. Whether they cycle charge the shock, that like what's going on over on this side, that might work. I mean, there's absolutely also as well, if they just wanted to, like any of their units, they have a massive gap here. Just go around this gap. And even if you get blocked off by an Elven unit, it's another Elven unit committed to this fight. That's one less reserve that can be sent somewhere else. Runic Warlords, they're dying in there against Heroes of Amon Lank. Another unit that I feel like just needs a buff. It used to be heavy, very heavy. It's now medium shock. One of the few units that is a tier 4 medium shock, I feel like. I do think that's a little bit. I think that's a little bit underpowered. I do, and I'm gonna have to start like, I don't know, mentioning it in the Dawnless Days Discord or to the devs constantly. Make Eastlings great again. It needs to happen. It needs to be a slogan. And this is not looking good for the Eastlings. They are very much penned in now. So looks like the polearms had pulled back from the gate. Don't know really why they did that. I would have just stayed there, kept this cav outside. Poor move, in my opinion, from the Eastling player there. But yeah, the cav now is inside and just lying in wait. I don't know for what. They're going to shoot with the Gladron Bowers. They're going to shoot these halberds here, kill every last halberd, and the cav's going to go in. And then that will be GG for the Eastlings. And there you go. There goes one. Other one will rout any second now. There you go. Gone. And now in goes the cav. Perfectly timed. Household Knights. The finest shock cav in all of Rohan. And they're going to mow down those. They're going to mow down these Eastlings here. These poor Veriags had it coming. I mean, at least, yeah, I was going to say, at least the Eastling archers are shooting the stationary cav. I mean, yeah, actually doing some damage to those King's Company there. It's not a bad idea. I mean, you should have been shooting the other archers so long ago, though. Household Knights again, cycle charging. Another great charge. That's pretty much that very axeman dealt with. But yeah, at least they're killing, I mean, doing some damage to this King's Company. All these archers now are out of ammo, so they've used up more of their ammo as well onto these Eastlings here. Is Theoden in the fight over there? Theoden is in fact in the fight. He's mounted in the fight as well. He's losing. I guess he's gone in because of the Airthid Lancers who have been cycle charging the swords here. Haven't really paid attention to this front. I think they've just really sort of reignited over here. Pikes are coming forward. They need to keep pike pushing to try and, you know, scare off Theoden. At least try and do some damage to him. He's actually winning this fight against the Airthid Lancers here. Yeah, the pikes aren't really in the melee, so it's why the cav's losing. For Anduin Vale. Shock now going in. That will, you know, cause some problems as well for King Theoden. There you go. He was losing slightly for a second, and he's now back to combat even. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. If Rohan loses their general, that evens the odds and evens the game up. Both sides having lost a general. Anduin Vale over here, though, still struggling away. Swords are losing, polearms are down to 58. Last time we checked, they were at 66. So evidently this melee tactic is not working, at least too effectively. The Greenwood Foresters also probably just, this is the second unit, so I bet they just jabbied, and that's what killed off, what, like 8 guys? That's probably what's done the damage, not really going into melee. Archers still have ammo. They have reset up, and I think they're getting ready because the pikes are coming in. Here they come. Carrick Wardens, I think they will definitely be in range when they come through the gate. If they can quickly dash up here, then they'll be out of range. But the Gladron Archers can just move until they get into range again, like just behind this melee here. Probably get side shots, or they can just move to somewhere else. And the player is not, in fact, doing that with his pikes. He's not going to send them against the polearms. He's going to send them into this fight here. Of all fights to send them into. Going to get them closer to the archers. Interesting move. Interesting move. Numbers-wise, it's evening out now as, yeah, look at that. 2,200 against 2,300. And that's got massively to do with these things as well being mass routed. I'm sure they're all gone now. They're not, actually not. The Cavs spared them from rear charges. But now, I mean, they should have just finished them off. Yeah, with these things pretty much out, the game is not over. Anduin Vale is now going to have to face what remains of Rohan and also the Elven reinforcements that they sent in that direction. We're coming back to face one of them. It's not over, absolutely. Numbers-wise, it's close. Balance power, yeah, really close. Anduin Vale can still pull this off. They've got archer ammo, they've got pikes, they've got some shock, they've even got cav, which they can use well. So they've got the tools to win this game. The pikes could do with being pushed forward. Just little micro things like that. We've got floating men. Hello, sir. A floating man. Lovely little bug there.
Enemy units have rallied and returned.
Yeah, look at that. All the calves now cleared up. I think they're going to go round again. I think they're going to go for this gate, which is also destroyed actually. And yeah, there you go. Archers being focused down. In fact, I was surprised. I thought they were going to go for the pikes. Instead, no, they're going to take out the yeomen, which are pretty light bowed. They're tier 2. They can be easy to rout, as you can see there. They've already done the volleys. They're routed that one. Moving on to the next one. So and that's gonna. They kill all these archers off. It's gonna make their pikes, or sorry, their pole arms invulnerable to being taken out. Really, if the elves. And they will mop up kills. But yeah, smartly, the Anduin Vale player is getting his archers out of there. But yeah, the pikes just quite happy just to keep on fighting. Oh no, that's anything footman. They are, yeah, they're combat even. I'm surprised we haven't seen the other pole arm being committed over here yet, or even archers just going round now and just going to angle up, because this is going to be a bit of a problem. The archers are over here. They're actually obstructing each other apparently. I presume they are shooting a pole arm in here, which is now down to 50. I think they're going to fall back and they're going to let the archers do some work now and try and get side shots or frontal shots. Then you got the spears actually pulled out. Whether they could have countercharged that. There you go. Nice volley into the back of them. That's done a lot of damage. That's dropped quite a few elves. And now they're falling back. Progress potentially here for the Anduin Vale. Progress. The aggressiveness of the elves there. They lost quite a lot of pole arms. You see the other one come forward. Were they going to replace it? Yeah, it should really just go down there. The elves could end this game so quickly if they just set up their archers here and side-shotted those pikes. I mean, I say end it. It would swing it back in their favor. There is another whole pike over here. The elves are winning this melee as well. The Anduin Sentinels are being defeated by the shock infantry of Lothlorien. There you go. Yeah, I mean, win decisively. Even the pikes are losing. Oh, look at that. The cav's waiting. Actually, apparently it's all hidden. They actually, even though the Anduin Sentinels literally could stand here and see the cav outside, they're actually apparently hidden in these knights. That's kind of insane. Whether that's just a thing now, I don't know. Whether that's just... Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they should not be hidden at that close distance, but apparently they are. Maybe it's a thing for Rohan now, so like they can get really up close with their cab until the last minute, or whether it has just got something to do with line of sight, I do not know. But that line of sight seems fine for me. Yeah, I mean, they've got plenty in here. The pikes are losing. And they're not even facing a pike, you know. I don't know if they've pike pushed too much. Certainly does seem like a lot of them are getting caught out of formation and getting melee here and killed. And over on this side, elves are losing as well. Man's power is definitely in favor of the attack, the defenders. 2,000 against 1,600. But a couple of choke points get lost here. It could always change, but I think the elves, yeah, they're just falling back to an even stronger one. They're just going to They're not too bothered about fighting on for this ground again, which is fair enough. Pull back to an even stronger point. They've got pole arms waiting. I mean, Anduin Vale could take this opportunity to push up their archers, start freely shooting. Well, actually, they can't see these spear warriors. I say they should start freely shooting these spear warriors. They can't see them, actually. They're hidden. So I guess that's... We have the benefit of the doubt that we can see them. Actually, Anduin Vale, in fairness to him, cannot see those pole arms, so he can't shoot what he can't see. Archfire coming in. I think that's Anduin Vale, though. Yeah, he's shooting from outside the wall. That's quite a way he's shooting. I don't know what the range on these guys is. That's insane. They are shooting quite a way. They're getting good side shots as well into the sentinels. There you go, yeah, the pass sentry's in there, doing their bit. Vale Axeman, about to go in. I mean, that's a very thin Elven line. They can hold that. If they hold that, I'll be impressed. Even if it is a pretty poor tier 2 Axeman, I'd be surprised if the Heroes of Amonlanc hold this one. I think that has got something to do with why... Well, we've got a sword warrior here. I say it's a thin line. It's just the main line is set behind the front lines right now. We've got another Galadrim swords being shifted here. And one day, that Anduin Sentinel is going to have to give up that position. It is going to have to give up that position. I don't know if this is a different one, because it was a full unit that was guarding here. Or have they had a fight? I don't think they have. I don't think they've had to fight over that gate yet. I think they just maybe changed which one was defending the gate.
Unit has rallied.
Anyway, Anduin Vale nearly out of troops here. I mean, they could start thinking about using the Aethed Lancers soon. Once all these units here are gone, I mean, the spear is there, but it's very weak. I'd just charge that. I'd cycle charge that, to be honest. Oh, that's a pull through, though. That is a pull through from Anduin Vale. Absolutely, just pulled through those Admiral Sentinels to engage. Whether he did it on purpose, might have been that we had given an attack order, so kept chasing the other Admiral Sentinel. Don't know, but even still, yeah, shameful stuff. And they, if anything, not achieved anything, they just charged into another healthy Admiral Sentinel, dying. Anduin Sentinels there being sent in. But spears against swords doesn't usually end up working in favour of the spears. There you go, finally. Are they technically officially out of this choke point? I guess so. Archers here, though, are setting up, and I think they're going to go for rear shots here onto... I was going to say onto the pikes. The pikes are dead, actually. There's not a lot left. Not a lot left at all. Yeah, 1,800 against 1,300. We're going to see the Greenwood Foresters just go past the Admiral Sentinels. Archers, yeah, just going to blitz these yeomen. I mean, they have a bit of ammo left, I guess, worth killing them off. Or, I mean, it's also probably the easiest target to go for if you're going for kills. There you go, Admiral Sentinels losing. I mean, yeah, actually, Anduin Sentinels now, I think. I guess it's tier 3 against tier 2. Spears maybe should still win that fight. Even so, I don't know though. Elven swords against Anduin's spears, I would never write off the elves, to be honest, even if it's a weakened elven unit. Badger bow warriors here, they're going to start, yeah, they're just going to end any hopes there of the Anduin Sentinels winning that melee fight. I mean, it already looked unlikely with that sword unit there. Yeah, you're getting rear shots off, very nice there from, yeah, I mean, well, rear side shots. whatever you want to call it, Haldir going in. He's a light bow infantry. He's actually not, I think he's got pretty decent melee stats. His armor's just not that great. So he's actually, but he'll be absolutely fine in that melee. It's pretty much looking like a one-sided one. They have actually kept progressing down the hill here a little bit. The pikes have re-rallied. They're going to try and stop the advance of the elves, but really just let them go through. Just send in the airford lancers, punish them there. Well, I say that actually, this pole arm's here now. Elves have got it covered. Elves have it covered. And yeah, it's looking really good here for the defenders now. I wouldn't say it was the closest one in the world, but it was a pretty close one. I mean, looking at the number difference, 11,500 against 6,000. A massive, massive ass. There's 2-to-1 odds. Elves and Rohan have won. I say Rohan's not really here. Rohan's still here very much. So he's got his archers and his cavalry. Infantry's all gone. That's kind of expected. But his infantry did look good up against the Easterlings. Easterlings made him look good, I felt, a little bit. But yeah, Anduin Vale, I'm not so sure if I'm sold with them yet. Definitely, like I said, I think they're the weakest faction in the game, or in the mod. You could see a little last-minute upset here if Haldir gets charged by the Aethid nobles and gets killed off, but I think they're going to fall back. I think the Amarok Sentinels here are going to sacrifice themselves to save their general, but with 45 seconds left on the clock, I can't see too much drastic stuff happening here. In fact, did charge into sword. They could have definitely got Haldir there if they wanted to. And yeah, the arrows come descending in. I mean, the last couple of volleys here won't probably kill this Aethid noble, but it will do some damage to him as he retreats. And yeah, they continue to push down. The Cav looks like he did go in for charge. Yeah, looks like he went in for a charge. Did some damage here, I think, to some of the elves. But I think it's mainly charged probably into pole arms if he's taking that many losses. And there you go, a mass rout is taking place. And the Anduin Vale has routed. And it is a Pyrrhic victory for Rohan and for Lothlorien. But yeah, this was sent in by Jackaboy, who was playing as Rohan. So yeah, Jack plays plenty of TDD expert in this one. And it certainly showed, I felt like, in this game as well. I don't know who. Yeah, it definitely felt like that this team outplayed the defenders. I also think the pick of factions was not great, to be honest. I feel like, if anything, rotate those around. Have Elves and Rohan attack. Anduin Vale and Eastlings defend. Might have been an even closer game. You never know. But yeah, we've got 288 kills here with the Retainers. 411 with another one there. 322, 202. Yeah, the Retainers look good in this game. We did Guards, Mudasel, 372 kills. 100 kills with the Yeoman of the Mark. King's Company, 164 kills. 202 with the Erling Riders. Erling Riders here getting 233. Heir to the Eastfold, 250 kills. 300 kills the Erling Knights. 366, 351. Like, they did so many cycle charges inside the city and outside. They got some massive kills and did really well with them. Meerdelf here, Meerdelf playing as Lothlorien, 197 kills with Haldir, 253 kills with the Amarok Sentinels, 265 kills, 254, 235 kills, 250 kills with the Shock, Spears, 178, 173, 279 with the Heroes of Amon Lank, 166 kills, 158, and then 162 kills here with the Spear Warriors. We have famous Austrian playing as the Anduin Vale here, getting 132 kills with his past sentries, 100 with there. He was fighting elves most of the time, so not going to be huge kills in fairness to him. But yeah, a lot of these axemen here getting no kills at all. Pikes down here, 44. Cav getting 195 kills. But yeah, pretty disappointing debut, I'd say, for Anduin Vale, looking at those kills. Eastlings not doing much better, I would have said. 70 kills with the Balkoth Nobles is low. Geesh. 127 kills with the Runic Savages, 251 kills with the Macemen, 151 with another there, actually kind of being the best of the bunch. And then 88 kills here with the Cav is the best there as well. But there you go, guys. That's today's Dawnless Days Siege Round. If you did enjoy and want to see more, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment. If you want to send in your own replays as well, do send them into my Discord. But until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.